Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to come up with your content strategy when it comes to posting awesome content on Instagram and how you're going to grow your Instagram account. Now, I know this might be a little bit intimidating. You might be thinking, well, yes, I'm excited. I want to grow an Instagram account, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed around the kind of content that I should post and all sorts of other things. So in this lesson, we're going to really debunk and give you like a framework and strategy to follow when it comes to like working out the kind of content to post. So it's really important that you pay attention to this lesson because this particular lesson forms the overarching blueprint for all the things that you're going to execute on when it comes to growing an Instagram account and having a solid Instagram content strategy. So the reason that this lesson's really important is it's not just about creating content for content's sake. All of your content that you create needs to have a purpose. How is it going to drive sales? How is it going to drive traffic? How is it going to drive value? How is it going to build a relationship? How is it going to get more followers? How is it going to get more likes, comments, engagement? How is it going to help you build a relationship with your audience? And how is it going to educate them and serve the market that you want to serve? So the first thing I want to go through with you when it comes to your content strategy for Instagram is your goal. You have to define the goal. Like, what are the goals? Like, why do you want to grow your Instagram account? Like, what is the goal of your content? Is it to get more followers and build your authority in your marketplace? Is it to get more applications for your, your coaching program? Is it to get more people walking through the door for your hairdressing salon? Is it to sell more physical products? Like, I have no idea, but this is the first thing that you need to look at when it comes to your content strategy. What is the goal? So once you've worked out the goal, the next thing you need to look at is your avatar. Like, who is this content for? And I talk about this often throughout the course, like who you serve. That's very, very important to know who you're serving because that's going to help you work out who the influencers are you want to work with. It's going to help you work out the content you want to create. It's going to help you work out potential competitors or people or brands that you want to collaborate with. It's going to help you find your like ultimate customer avatar. So that's the next thing. Who are you creating content for? As an example, for Healthish, we are producing content for people that want to live a healthy lifestyle, but they're not like strictly religious on their health. They're like in the middle. That's why the company's called Healthish. And we want to find people that are, fitness focused and they are health conscious. So they're the kind of people we want to look for, and we also want to specifically look for females in the age range from around 21 to 45. And ideally they are working in an office job of some sort, because we know with the Healthish bottle a lot of people are sitting at their desk working, so they forget to drink enough water for that particular product. So I hope it gives you like a really good understanding of how we think about, our customer avatar for that particular business. The next thing you need to focus on is your UVP. What is your unique value proposition when it comes to the content you're creating? So a great example of this is when I was looking to start the Foundr Instagram account, like one trend that I noticed was, 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of people were creating quotes, and a lot of these fan pages were creating quotes, which I talk about in another lesson, what is a fan page. And effectively what I found was like all of these companies like Forbes, Success Magazine, Fast Company that were creating quotes, and all of these fan pages that were creating quotes were quite motivational, like, stuff that were kind of fluffy, like, perhaps maybe a quote from like the Dalai Lama or something like that. So what we focused on for Foundr was purely strictly entrepreneurial quotes and business and startup quotes. And it was really, we tried to give as much how to and really teach people something through that quote or give people a lesson. So that's how we were able to differentiate ourselves and also use the magazine covers as a way to differentiate our content as well. Now, the next thing that you need to be focused on when it comes to your content strategies are the opportunities. Now, when it comes to opportunities, like as an example for Foundr, one opportunity we have is we're already creating YouTube interviews, right? YouTube video interviews. So we can take that piece of content and then turn it into a meme video for Instagram. What are some other opportunities where you already are putting out content, you're already creating things where you can do 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 birds with one stone when it comes to your content strategy? So we're very, very big fans of repurposing content at Foundr. I really urge you to ask yourself the question when it comes to your content strategy, what are the opportunities for you to repurpose content? Are customers creating content for you? Do you have like an ambassador program in place right now? Do you have partners right now that you're currently already working with where they can give you shout outs, which we talk about in another lesson? Like, as an example for us at Foundr, we're already interviewing all these successful founders. Maybe every time we do an interview with a founder, we can give them a quote and an image that we create that quote from, and they can post that quote and tag us on Instagram once their episode or interview is released. Another thing to think about is, do you right now get before and after transformation photos? Like, let's just say you have a company that helps people lose weight. Maybe you could do before and afters. You're already doing those. You could use that content on your Instagram page. You could get people to run a challenge on your Instagram. Are you running challenges? So these are all the things that you can do to really capitalize on anything you might be doing right now within your business to grow your Instagram account from a content strategy standpoint. So now that you've worked out your goal, your content avatar, who you're speaking to, what makes you different, and the opportunities you have, now you need to be thinking about the content buckets. Like, how can you create Instagram stories? How can you create Instagram videos? How can you create photos or images to put on your feed? How can you create Instagram TV videos? I break down all of this throughout the course and all the crazy growth hacks to like rapidly grow your account, but that's something else you want to be thinking about as well. And the final thing you need to be thinking about is, how are you going to drive sales with your product or your service right now on Instagram using the content you're going to create? So as an example right now, what are the sales mechanisms you have? For an example, we know for Foundr, we know that one of the ways that we sell our courses is using masterclasses. So that's a sales mechanism for us. So it's like a free training. So we have to think about, well, what are the things that we can do to get more people to the free training? Maybe we need to create a swipe up story. Maybe you have a physical product. Maybe you have people giving reviews of that product. How can you use those photos or those videos of that review to post on your feed? These are the kinds of things I want you to think about when it comes to driving sales for your Instagram account as well. Because when you drive traffic from your Instagram page, it has to be intentional. You have to intentionally want to create content that is going to drive sales. So if you have an e-commerce business, how do you post more photos of the product? How do you post UGC, which I talk about all of this throughout the course. How do you get more people coming through to your local store? How do you get more people signing up for a consultation call if you have a service-based business? What are the things, what is the content you can create to be able to facilitate that next step? So the next thing you need to be thinking about in your content strategy is your content calendar. Now, what that is effectively the cadence. Now, I've mentioned in another lesson, I'll say it again, I cannot stress enough, the way that you grow an Instagram account is with consistency, right? So you have to post at least once a day. If you're just starting out, just start with posting once a day. But how do you manage that? How do you get on top of that? Well, I suggest you start something called Social Media Mondays. And what you do every single Monday now is you map out the content that you're going to post for the week, and you go and create that content, or you make sure you've got it, or you're repurposing it, and then you follow along through this whole strategy for the Instagram domination framework, but at least you've got your content sorted. So we will provide you a content calendar so you can map out how you can post at least once a day, and you can map it out for like 2 weeks in advance if you want, and then you can stay on top of it. But your content calendar is very, very important to make sure you stay on top of that consistency, because that is the number one thing that allows you to grow your Instagram account and make sure that it never dies, is consistency. I cannot stress that enough, and the way that you solve that is with a content calendar. So the action item for this lesson is go ahead, download the content calendar that we put in the resources for you, and start doing Social Media Mondays. Fill out your content calendar for at least the next week, and 2 as a bonus, and then you've got your content sorted for the week. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.